Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be interviewing Joe Frost, entrepreneur, speaker, ideator, and thinker, but most importantly, the co-founder of yorCMO, the first fractional and decentralized leadership franchise business. He's also the founder of the Fractional Professionals Association and a whole board member at EO in Nebraska. I am a fellow EO member, host the weekly podcast, The Fractional C-Suite Retreat on C-Suite. So lots of stuff in common, lots of stuff to talk about. Joe, thanks so much for joining us.
Great to be here, Seth. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Let's go back in time just a little bit. How did you get started?
Started in what? Started in entrepreneurship? Started in...
Let's go. How did yorCMO and the Fractional Professionals Association get started?
Yeah, well, that was about 7-8 years ago. I had been in the marketing space for a while, professor of marketing to some MBA students, and just realized that strategic marketing was a skill set that most of my business owner friends did not have. And despite being successful in their businesses, they were hitting certain ceilings. And I saw that there was an opportunity there to bring in C-level expertise to help them break through. Without that breakthrough, they were trying to hire tactical marketers to do strategic work, or they were relying on kind of more do-it-yourself tactics and chasing fads, or they were trying to get strategy from agencies. And a lot of times, agency strategy is just to sell you more stuff, whether you need it or not. I like to say they had marketing PTSD. They'd been trying everything, beating their head against the wall, and just very shell-shocked with the results. At the same time, I'd seen the fractional CFO model working in the finance area and discipline, and thought, wow, what if we could do that in the CMO space, in the marketing space? So built a business model, attracted a partner who was a fractional marketing consultant himself, and we built the yorCMO system to deliver that strategic level expertise to our clients and then oversee its execution along the way. So that was 7 years ago. We've got, 28 CMOs now across the country. It's now a franchise operation, and we continue to grow it as we go forward.
Well, that is absolutely incredible. And I am sure the longer version of that story could be in a book somewhere if it isn't already. So let's talk about what are some of the problems that the yorCMO model solves.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest problem is business owners oftentimes have done a good job of getting themselves out of the day-to-day. If you're familiar with the E-Myth book and methodology, we need to be working to grow our business, not on it or in it. And too many visionaries have grown up, got themselves out of running the day-to-day into the leadership area, but now are wearing all the leadership hats. And they've got to do the next level growth there also. They need to get themselves out of those strategic level decision-making roles in their business. But to do that, they need a trusted expert. And most of the time, they can't afford to hire a true $250,000 a year executive at certain levels in their business. So they're stuck. Well, the fractional model as a whole solves that problem, whether it's a fractional CFO, CTO, CMO, sales leader, go down the C-suite. Business owners, small, mid-sized business owners can gain access to trusted experts that can help them with true strategic level expertise within their business that allows them to continue to scale and grow. And that's what it solves.
Awesome. So you're solving problems on both sides. How are you sourcing your fractional CMOs?
Well, that's a little bit easier side of the coin. We have plenty of CMOs. Ever since COVID, uh, people have come out of the woodwork, not wanting to work in corporate America anymore. Loads of C-level, VP of sales and marketing level experience that are out there looking for opportunities to do fractional work. They want the remote lifestyle. They want the financial freedom. They want to be somewhat in control of their own destiny, meaning they eat what they kill. They do their own work. They're happy that way. So there's a large amount of people that want to do this work. Many of them don't have a framework or the know-how and never built a business before. They're practitioners. So at yorCMO, we're able to show them, we like to say, if you want to go out on your own but not alone, we're a great fit because we can give you that framework, the methodology to go get business, and then the support to deliver that business in a fractional way. It's much different than full-time work. There's nuances that are unique to being a fractional leader within an organization. We've solved those challenges and those nuances over 7 years and built the systems and infrastructure to support somebody that wants to go out in a fractional marketing way. There's also fractional CFO models and CTO models and other firms out there that have solved it in their own industries. We've just really focused on the marketing side.
And then how are you getting that unique offering in front of the right business owners? How are you bringing in clients?
Yeah, that's still the hardest problem in our industry, as it is with many business owners, is how do you get yourself in front of the right clients? What we realized and kind of doubled down on last year was that no matter how we slice it, the professional services world is very word of mouth driven. So it's referral based. And there's no cold email marketing or LinkedIn or SEO or paid ad that's going to generate the attention of an executive that's trying to solve their current marketing strategy problem. Many times they don't know they have a marketing strategy problem. So we doubled down and started building partnerships with other fractional sales firms, organizations in the ecosystems. We're partners with fractional sales group called Sales Acceleration Advisors. We've got partnerships with executive coaches, EOS coaches, Pinnacle coaches. We realize that that's where the business is going to come from. And so we help our CMOs develop the skills and the activity to support fostering those relationships. And at the corporate level, we also go out and find more and more of those in the marketplace to make it easier for them to build and grow their practice with us.
Who's an ideal client? Who's an ideal business for your model?
We like to focus on businesses that are in the $5 to $50 million range. There's no real specific industry that we go after or business model. We serve B2B, B2C, retail, government, IT, SaaS, you name it. But generally, we're the first strategic marketing leader in that organization. That role has either been an and marketing role, so that's HR and marketing, sales and marketing, or it's been the owner founder that has owned that role, because I find that entrepreneurs and founders are very good marketers. They understand their product or service better than just about anybody. They know their competition really well. They know their clients really well. So that's how they can grow to a certain level, but then it gets outside their capacity. So we're generally that first leader that comes in and can put the systems and processes in place, build the strategy, build the infrastructure, put the processes and people there to execute. And then we exit 18, 24 months later, usually backfilling ourselves with a more full-time marketing leader. That could be a marketing manager, doesn't need to be a CMO level because the strategy is pretty much there. So that's a great fit for us.
So you are in essence a bridge between where they are and where they need to get to when they can have someone full-time or on staff. In essence, it sounds like you're almost building the framework and the structure to work yourself out of a job.
In many cases, that is exactly what we do. We set 2-year wildly important goals for our clients. We achieve those 2 years and we either set a new one or we disengage. Many of our clients, it's 18 to 24 month engagements. We have a good few that are ongoing 4 or 5 plus years that we stay around, and the scope just kind of is a maintenance, and they just like to have their CMO there. And we have some projects that are 3 to 6 months, but our bread and butter is 18, 24 month engagement. Build the strategy, the infrastructure, the systems and processes, and then backfill us with people that can manage it.
With all the success you've achieved for not only this business, but most importantly, the client businesses, what's your biggest challenge now?
Uh, well, I'm an idea guy, and so I'm always got a shiny object in front of me that is distracting me from one thing to a next. My biggest challenge right now is just really staying focused, and I'm doing that by putting a framework around myself of only doing things that are a hell yes. And so whether that be within the business at yorCMO opportunities, or outside the business, other opportunities, other shiny objects. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
How many fractional CMOs are on your platform now?
We've got 24 CMOs that are full-time franchisees with us.
Okay, when you say franchisee, tell me more about how that works. Did they buy a local franchise? Are they buying a region? How does that what do they get? How does that process work?
Yeah, I like to think of it as an unfranchise, but it legally is a franchise. We needed to put a business model in place that allowed us to scale and control the deliverables to the clients. So as we were operating and growing, there's only a few ways you can do that. You can be a franchise, which is what we decided to do. You can have an employee relationship. You can kind of have a dealership or a partnership model. And what we were operating was in the gray area. It was a partnership model with some independent agreements between CMOs and us. We went to our CMOs and we gave them the options, and all the CMOs said, we want to become a franchise. We like what we're doing. We don't want to change the business model. So what that means to our CMOs that were existing and our new CMOs is we have three ways to join yorCMO. One is a light CMO, one is a solo CMO, and the other is a firm CMO. And the light is at a different royalty split. It's a really small entry fee, so the franchise fees are low. You come in at a slightly higher split of the royalties. We recover the investment together that way. The solo is much more what our CMOs get. It's kind of the traditional 5% royalty fee that is associated with most franchise organizations. So they get a much smaller split. They take home more, a little bit bigger upfront fees. And then our third model, the firm model, is where it's about the same cost, as a little more upfront than the solo model, but allows a CMO that wants to build out a team of CMOs underneath them and more of a business than just a firm than a solo enterprise. But the key is they all sign a 5-year agreement. They're all committed to a fractional way of life, meaning they are full-time. They're not in between jobs. They're not part-time. They're not looking for the next gig. And for our clients, then they're getting professionals that have chosen to be fractionals with a proven process behind them. And it delivers a much better result for our clients too.
That is awesome. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
I love watching a CMO that has kind of been in corporate for a while, get into our space for the first time, get out in the wild and realize how hard it is to generate business and build referral partnerships, and then get the first deal and get so excited about doing the work. And then they get the next deal. And then they have a nice career that is flexible. It's their perfect practice. That's what we like to say. It's the amount of time they want to spend. It's the type of clients they want to work with, and to see their success and knowing that we were a small part in them getting there. That's the most rewarding thing for me.
That is awesome. Can you talk about some of the results your CMOs have been able to achieve for some of the client companies?
I can talk about some of the wins we've had. One of the things we focus on during the audit is what we call buyer personas. We follow the Adele Rivera Buyer Persona Institute methodology for gathering insights from actual buyers of the product and service. That's the first thing we do with a client. And we're always getting really great ahas and some confirmation, but some insights that change the direction of many, many companies. We'll take those insights into some strategic planning and build what we call 2-year wildly important goals. And that 2-year goal is what drives all of the marketing tactics from there. One of the insights that we got from a pet, it's a doggy daycare type company. They thought that it was all about service and pricing and location for their franchisees, the franchise. But what they found out is that the consumers were more concerned about the what's the right word? The environment that their pet was going into. They could care less about price and connectivity and anything else. They just wanted to see that their dogs were in a really nice space, that they were being taken care of, and that they could check in digitally from time to time. So with this insight, it's very small but powerful. We redid their entire go-to-market strategy, and we were able to take a franchise organization with same new stores break even from 18 months down to 4 months by just changing the messaging and pre-booking sales, by showing off what it's going to look like, selling the feeling that they're going to get when their dog is in this great environment with other great dogs, just being able to change the messaging and some of the tactics as well with it. That's a giant step for that franchise to be able to go from 18 months break even to 4.
That's a huge, huge difference. I would imagine they were very, very excited about that.
Yeah, and I can tell you, many, many more, but that was one that comes straight to mind, where you can really feel that it's the work that you do strategically with the buyers at the front end that then ties into the tactical changes that you make that drive real change at the end.
That's incredible. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable for our folks watching and listening who want to learn more, who might be a good fit as either a fractional CMO or a business. Where is the best place for us to send them, for them to learn more about you and your CMO?
The best place is to connect with me on LinkedIn. Joseph Frost is my name and my LinkedIn name, and that's the best place to get me. I respond to messages and connections there regularly.
Awesome. This has been Seth Greene for Sharkpreneur with Joseph Frost from yorCMO. Joseph, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Seth. My pleasure.
Thank you, everybody, for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.